Hello, lovers of the world. Welcome to another page of my concert field notes. This is the series of videos where I share my observations and thoughts about the live music shows that I attend. This is a way for me to document a very ephemeral event that I've experienced and to offer those who are not fortunate enough to be at the show not only moments from the performance that they may not have been able to see for themselves by not being present, but also offer remarks and commentary about the experience of being there that they may not have considered. These are my field notes from the 100 Gex concert in Auckland in 2023. So I went on a trip to the Philippines to visit family for 2 weeks prior to this concert. I returned to New Zealand mid-July, which was just in time to go to the 100 Gex concert. The venue was at Power Station in Eden Terrace. This concert was held on the 25th of July on a Tuesday of all days. I attended the concert with a friend. So Power Station has a capacity of 1,000 people, which means it is considered a small venue. Power Station is only GA standing. It does have some small couches around the sides of the venue, but otherwise when you purchase a ticket to go see a band or person at this venue, you have to be prepared to stand all night. It does have a second-story balcony, which is where my friend and I decided to stay for the duration of the concert. The balcony kind of wraps around the venue on the sides, and there is a bar at the balcony. Also, it depends on whether the show is 18 plus. I think they have to decide whether the top part is 18 plus only or if the bottom part is 18 plus only. I believe for logistics that the ground floor is all ages, and then 18 plus is the top floor. And they have to do that because whether or not you can be served alcohol is dependent on your age. So I believe 100 Gex was strictly 18 plus. It depends again on whether the amount of people who are likely to drink, it needs 2 bars. I believe the top floor bar was not open, so you can only get drinks by going downstairs. So my friend and I decided to stay at the top floor because that was the place that we found had the best vantage point. I'm not really interested in barricading. As long as I have a decent enough view of the artist on stage, then I'm pretty happy where I am, and that's why, and the balcony provided that. I unfortunately did not catch the name of the opener. I can't even remember if there was an opener or if they just had somebody kind of do a DJ set that the venue Power Station provided. So my vantage point afforded me to observe 2 very important things. The first was that there was barely anyone in the audience filming. This was a huge contrast to the last concert I attended before this, which was the NMIXX concert in the Philippines, where the entire audience had their phones up. Where's my phone? I can't remember. The entire audience basically had their phones up like this. They would make sure that the artist was in frame for the video, and they would watch kind of slightly above, like over the phone. Or sometimes they would watch, this was really interesting, and it kind of reshifted my perception of live music, but like the idea that phones have become the medium of which you watch live music, because the phone companies purposefully make their cameras the highlight of new phones so that people will buy these, and then if you're far away enough from the artist, you can use your camera to like zoom in so that you can actually see them, and the crispness of your camera will kind of substitute the fact that you were far away from the stage. So that, I think, felt really apparent at the NMIXX concert in the Philippines. And coming back to New Zealand, and I commented a lot on that, where it might be the socioeconomic situations of the attendees of NMIXX, where a lot of Filipinos may, they kind of feel that this may be their first ever concert, so they're a lot more likely to really capture everything so that they can look back on it, or they are aware that they may not be able to see this particular artist in the future. They may not come back to the Philippines again, or they may not be able to go to concerts at all. So they film the entire thing so that they have something that they can take with them after the show ends. Definitely coming back to New Zealand and attending a show, you can like see the huge contrast in how people like treat filming in live shows. And I can't decide whether it was because of specifically New Zealand concert goers' habits in general, or if it was the habits of 100 Gex fans specifically, or even more specifically, whether it was the habits of New Zealand 100 Gex fans. If you also think about the logistics or the actual content of the performance, and Mix is a very visual heavy band slash group. K-pop relies a lot on the visuals, the choreography, the styling of the outfits, and I think the venue also takes into account that people are going to film, so they account for the audio engineering that way. If you've listened to a 100x music, you are going to be like, I don't know how this is going to sound like recorded on a phone. Like there's something lost in the translation of recording something like that loud and that abrasive. And also 100gex were like great performers, but they're not dancers, and they didn't style themselves in any particular fashion. And to be fair, like the smallness of the venue really means that you can't do anything super special visual effects wise. Like lighting is kind of the only thing that Power Station can really offer their people, as well as maybe the occasional smoke screen. Power Station doesn't have screens at all, like in the back of them, so you can't project or show LED displays of any kind. So it really is boiled down to the whoever is on stage. I think that really like plays into the habits of filming a music show. That was definitely in my head as I was watching the show and enjoying it. The fact that I chose being on the balcony meant that I could see very clearly the darkness of the audience. Like hardly, like maybe a handful of people had their phones up. Interestingly enough, the very few people that were filming throughout the evening, there were at least 3 people who specifically, I guess, brought their Nintendo DS to the concert, and then that is what they used to film the concert. And I was like to my friend, like, is this like a specifically 100gex concert, or is this like a specific internet niche meme thing? She wasn't able to provide me an answer, as neither of us were like super duper into 100gex fandom specifically. So it could just very well be like the joke is entirely like, oh, I filmed the 100gex concert through a Nintendo DS. But that was very interesting. My phone at the time was not equipped to capture that, but you know, I definitely saw that with my eyes. And the other thing I was able to witness by being on the balcony was the formation of mosh pits throughout the night. And it was my first time ever seeing a mosh pit in person. Now, of course, this shouldn't be surprising because, of course, a mosh pit would start at 100gex concert. The venue was just like, there was just enough space in the venue that a mosh pit could even happen, because I don't know who started them. It could be like the same person over and over. It could be like one started it, and then later on when a song started, another person would be like, let's do a mosh pit to this one again. I was just really enamored with seeing it live. Of course, like maybe if you are an avid concert goer, like specifically to genres that mosh pits are just very commonplace, like maybe this very small version of a mosh pit wouldn't impress you, but the fact that it was the first time I saw it, it was really special to me. And it really did excite me to, you know, envision myself as a person in the future who could withstand a mosh pit. Like it looked fun from where I was. The only thing is that, as you can see, I'm very small and I would never be able to handle that. There's a finesse to being in a mosh pit that one, I don't know how to do, and I think my build is just like I need to like work my way up there eventually. Yeah, unfortunately my phone wasn't good enough to capture it, but I really wanted to like be able to capture like such a unique moment for myself. It was so special. Regardless, I don't think I'll be able to forget such a fascinating sight. And yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to share. Depending on when this video comes out, I will have published all of my interesting or significant enough concert clips from that night. Again, my phone isn't really amazing at taking videos. I did take videos of the specific songs that I really like, a special moment from a favorite song of mine from their discography. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to my short field notes for this concert. I hope this video encourages you to reflect on your own experiences with live music in a more intentional and observant way. Have you been to a 100gex concert? Do you live in New Zealand and have any particular insight about the filming camera culture in live music shows? Let me know in the comments. All my social media links are down in the description if you guys want to follow me there. And I will see you guys next time. Okay, that's it.